What is going to happen with Canadian real estate in 2021? Well, it's a burning question a lot of people are trying to answer and wish they could answer. Well, I have summoned my crystal ball. I can predict the future. I have all the answers and I'm going to give them to you in this video. Totally kidding. Nobody has a crystal ball and nobody can predict the future. However, based on what I am observing in the market and what I've observed with past market cycles, here's what I think is going to happen. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Mike Banks, and on this channel we talk about all things real estate. So if you're into that kind of content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm a licensed real estate professional in Edmonton, Alberta, with the Terry Paranis Real Estate Group and Remax Excellence. So if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, or any general market questions whatsoever, call me, email me, text me, however you prefer to communicate. My contact information will be in the description below. If you don't feel like reaching out to me personally, but you agree or disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment below. I'm a big boy. I realize I'm putting myself out on the internet and it's going to happen, so I can take it. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So what is going to happen with Canadian real estate in 2021? Well, the government, you're hearing in the media, the government talking about a lot of measures, well, really one specific measure that they're talking about to kind of cool off the market, and that is mortgage stress test. So what is a mortgage stress test? Well, basically, interest rates are right here, which is what is referred to as the posted rate, and they're going to want you to qualify at a higher rate, hence the stress test. So they want to make sure that you can afford and qualify for this higher amount, even though you're not going to pay this higher amount, you're just going to qualify at it and you're going to pay this lower amount. So if interest rates were to rise, you can absorb those rising costs, because you must understand what the government is looking at, right? They're looking at people with interest rates as low as they are, below 2% currently at the time of this recording. People buying, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, $1 million plus properties at under 2% interest rates. Well, what were to happen if all of a sudden rates jumped up to 4 or 5%, where they typically are historically? Well, that is a major increase in interest rate as well as payments. People would probably be wiped out. They probably wouldn't be able to afford their mortgages anymore. So with all of the buyer activity that's going on in the market right now, the government is proposing another stress test, because one has already been implemented a while ago. They're proposing another one just to kind of cool off these buyers and make sure that they're not taking on too much home and buying something that they can't afford in the future. So what does that mean? Well, the past stress test that was implemented, I think it was about 18 to 20% decrease in purchasing power. And they're talking with this one around 15 to 20% decrease in purchasing power again. So what does that look like in numbers? Well, if you were to qualify for a $400,000 home previous to the stress test rule, after it, let's say it's 20%, you lose $80,000. $80,000. 20% of 400,000 is 80,000. So instead of buying a $400,000 home, you're buying now a $320,000 home. Now, depending on which market you're in, it's a significant decrease as it is, but depending on which market you're in, that's going to be a massive decrease in or change in what you can buy. So that's what the government is proposing. Now, here's my prediction. Because this rumbling has been going on, what do you think has been happening in the market? People are hearing this going on, and now FOMO, so fear of missing out, is kicking in, and a little bit of urgency is kicking in because people think that this change is going to happen. So now they're like, we need to buy a home even faster before this change happens and get a home that we actually want, because, in my market specifically, in Edmonton, the difference between $400,000 and $320,000 is very significant. It's a very different home that you're going to be buying. So what my prediction is if this announcement actually becomes concrete, there is going to be an absolute rush to the market. And I think it's going to have, in the short term anyways, it's going to have an opposite effect of what the government is trying to achieve. They're trying to slow down buyers, but in the short term, it is going to just have an absolute stampede, a stampede herding into the market, trying to get in before this rule is implemented, because that's exactly what happened last time there was a stress test. Tons of buyers were rushing to get in before the change was made. So I think that will happen again in the short term. And then even in the long term, I think 2021, I still don't think that it's going to see the decrease in activity that the government is hoping, because there's another major factor at play here, and that is that there's a pandemic. And guess what? Not everybody is losing their jobs. but almost everybody is at home for an extended period of time. So that is what's going on right now, is you have this perfect storm of people at home spending a lot more time at home, now working from home, needing extra space, an office, more room for their kids or their family or whatever's going on at home. You have record low interest rates and people that are still gainfully employed. A lot of people, again, working from home or working online. Their income has not been impacted whatsoever. In fact, some people are flourishing through this. So you have this perfect storm swirling, and I don't predict 2021 seeing any sort of major real estate crash or correction that a lot of people are predicting, because I think the activity is going to continue. It might slow down a little bit, and that's kind of my official prediction, is there's going to be a massive rush into the market. When the stress test is finally officially announced, everybody's going to try to beat it. And then even after it's introduced, I think that we're still going to see healthy activity, because there's still buyers out there and there's just not enough supply. The real problem going on in the Canadian housing market right now, and most local markets, is that there's just not enough supply. And I actually talk about that in this video right here. I'll link to it, what I think the government should actually be doing to help solve this Canadian real estate crisis. Check out that video, the link is right there. So that's my prediction for 2021. I hope, I don't know what I was gonna say there. I don't know if I hope that I'm wrong or right. I'm kind of indifferent. You know, obviously I'm biased as a real estate agent. This activity is really good for my business. So I don't want it to come across that I'm making this opinion based on my own selfish reasons that I want it to continue. I just, looking at the facts and looking at past market cycles, and past, stress tests that have already happened and already been announced, that's what I think is going to happen. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think is going to happen with Canadian real estate in 2021. And if anything changes whatsoever and this video is completely wrong, I will definitely update it. So subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you get notified if a new updated video like this comes out, and I'll see you in the next video.